Part 49. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 481. After recognizing the owner of the phantom armor, Li Yang's heart moved, and the figure's aura changed rapidly. In less than a second, he turned into an extremely burly man with an extremely ferocious aura. What a wonderful feeling! Li Yang was surprised. After he changed, every part of his body had changed, even his cells had changed. Taiwan Novel Network rightward arrow circled M. Even if he is an acquaintance, it is impossible to recognize him. After feeling the power slightly, Li Yang looked at the eternal ancestor and said respectfully, "Thank you, teacher, for the gift." Speaking of which, this soul protection bead and phantom armor are definitely the most suitable treasures for him. He has a clone, and he is not afraid of death, but afraid of the death of his soul. The soul protection bead solved this problem. And the phantom armor made it impossible for many foreign races to recognize him. Although the two treasures have not reached the level of holy weapons, they are definitely much more precious than ordinary top-level artifacts. Taken together, these two treasures are definitely comparable to a holy weapon. Looking at Li Yang, the eternal ancestor said again, "This phantom armor can also conceal the aura of some weapons. Even if you use the sacred weapon Xianzhang, be careful when using it. Basically no god will recognize that it is a sacred weapon." Li Yang was shocked when he heard the words of the eternal ancestor. Did the eternal ancestor know that he had the sacred weapon Xianzhang? However, considering that the consciousness of the eternal ancestor has always shrouded the entire human race's eternal temple, it is normal to know that he has the sacred weapon Xianzhang. "Yes, teacher, disciples must pay attention," Li Yang said respectfully. Looking at Li Yang, the eternal ancestor did not say anything more, but warned, "Go ahead. When you go to sharpen, be vigilant at all times and don't relax at all, because the stone next to you may be the disguise of a foreign race." He values Li Yang very much as a disciple. Not to mention other things, just having so many clones can make him pay enough attention to him. If Li Yang can grow up, he will definitely be a super strong person in their human race. Moreover, Li Yang's luck was so bad that he actually obtained a sacred weapon at the Wanchao realm that most emperors did not have. Why doesn't he value such a genius? Therefore, he was willing to give Li Yang precious treasures. Among the disciples he had accepted before, the treasures given to him were basically not as valuable as Li Yang. Disciple resigns. Seeing that the eternal ancestor didn't want to say anything else, Li Yang respectfully withdrew. In the entire palace, only the eternal ancestor stood alone. "I wonder how far this disciple of mine can grow in the future," the eternal ancestor was looking forward to it. He has so many clones, and they are also clones born in the world, or even born gods. Li Yang will quickly grow into a powerful god, and even break through to the level of an emperor. When Li Yang becomes the emperor, with so many clones, one can imagine Li Yang's intimidating power. "Foreign race, you want to kill my disciple, but unfortunately you don't know that in terms of life-saving ability, my disciple is definitely at the top." He didn't tell Li Yang that he had explored Li Yang's soul, and his soul was even at the perfect level of the world. Such a soul, protected by the soul protection beads, would not be able to kill Li Yang even if it were an emperor who was proficient in souls. However, he didn't tell Li Yang because he wanted to keep Li Yang on guard. A perfect soul, many clones, Li Yang in the future will definitely be a nightmare for the powerful aliens. Leaving the area where the eternal ancestor was, Li Yang was happily calculating his trump card. "Haha, the treasures I have now probably exceed those of most emperors, right?" Li Yang was delighted. He now has many treasures on his body, including the offensive sacred weapon Xianzhang gun, the top-level sacred weapon Soul Guard Pearl and the Black Fantasy armor, as well as the high-level offensive sacred weapon Black Moon Sword obtained from the Xingyu clan. These treasures surpassed almost any god, and were completely comparable to or even surpassed the emperor. Emperors should all have top-level artifacts, but most emperors don't have sacred artifacts. With a face full of joy, Li Yang secretly said at this time, "What treasure should I exchange for next?" He can still get treasures now. The ancestor dragon's body was taken away by the eternal temple of the human race. The temple gave him 3 conditions, one of which was 100 billion contribution points which he had already obtained. There are also 2 conditions. One is that the blood of the ancestor dragon can be applied for free, but it can only be used on oneself. Another condition is that Li Yang can apply for 2 top-level artifacts. Now that Li Yang has broken through to the world realm, these 2 top artifacts will definitely be brought out. "Li Yang, come to me quickly." While he was thinking, Li Yang received a message from the leader of the sword slaughter sect. "Huh? The teacher is looking for me." After reading the information, Li Yang immediately went to Daolo Mansion. Junior brother Li Yang is here." When they came here, one of Li Yang's senior brothers immediately smiled and shouted, very enthusiastically. At this time, Li Yang had been accepted as a disciple by the eternal ancestor. In terms of status, Li Yang was definitely far ahead of them. Senior brother. Looking at the senior brothers, Li Yang also smiled and greeted them one by one, and walked towards the palace of the leader of the Daolo sect. Looking at Li Yang's back, his senior brothers were very excited. "Junior brother Li Yang is so awesome. After decades of practice, I can kill gods, and I was even accepted as a disciple by the eternal ancestor. It is estimated that in a short time, junior brother Li Yang will definitely become the top powerhouse of our human race. Yes, even if you are an emperor, it is not difficult for junior brother Li Yang." Li Yang's senior brothers were talking excitedly. As Li Yang's senior brothers, they naturally hope that Li Yang can grow up quickly. Not knowing what they were talking about, Li Yang quickly arrived at the location of the leader of the sword slaughter sect. Teacher. Looking at the man in front of him, Li Yang shouted respectfully. He had great respect for the master of the sword slaughter sect, and he did not change it just because he became a disciple of the eternal ancestor. Before, he was bullied by Luo Yu, and the leader of the Daolo sect even came to the solar system in person to support him. In the past, during his training, the leader of the Daolo sect was also very kind to him. Li Yang naturally kept these kindnesses in his heart, and he also took them from the bottom of his heart. Respecting the leader of the sword slaughter sect will not change in any way because of his strength and status. "Li Yang, you have now broken through to the world realm and are ready to leave the temple and go out to explore." Looking at Li Yang, the leader of the sword slaughter sect asked. He sighed in his heart that when he first gave guidance to Li Yang was just an extremely weak genius, but he had grown to this point in the blink of an eye. "Well, the disciple is going to exchange some things and prepare to leave," Li Yang said. Hearing this, Master Daolo sect nodded and said, "When each of your senior brothers breaks through to the world realm and prepares to go out to explore, the master will give you a treasure. I have already prepared this treasure for you. Get ready." The leader of the sword-killing sect waved his hand, and a strange crystalline stone suddenly appeared. The stone vaguely exuded power, which actually exceeded the level of ordinary gods. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 482. This is. Li Yang looked at the crystalline stone with a hint of doubt in his eyes. "Li Yang, try to activate it after you recognize the master." Daolu sect master smiled. "Yes, teacher." Li Yang nodded, and his consciousness sank into the crystalline stone. After recognizing the master, the crystalline stone directly merged into Li Yang's body, and then Li Yang activated it directly according to what Daolu sect master said. Boom! In an instant, an extremely terrifying force was sensed by Li Yang, and this force was even equivalent to his strength increasing 5 times. With a 5-fold increase in strength, Li Yang felt that his strength directly exceeded that of the second-level gods. What kind of treasure is this? Li Yang was shocked that a stone actually made his strength increase so much. You know, it is extremely difficult to improve the strength of the God realm. Mastering one more set of laws only increases the strength tenfold. The strength of the second level gods is 10 times that of ordinary gods, and the strength of the third level gods is 10 times that of the second level gods. Mastering one more law is completely equivalent to a breakthrough in the great realm. It only increased his strength tenfold. Before, Li Yang could kill ordinary gods at the peak of the Star-Lord realm. And after breaking through to the world realm, and even reaching the peak of the world realm, his overall strength only increased 2 or 3 times. Therefore, it is extremely difficult to increase the strength of the God realm. If you want to increase it 2 or 3 times, you have to try every possible way and use all kinds of trump cards. Now, just a stone has made his strength so greatly improved. Seeing Li Yang's shocked expression, Daolu sect master smiled and said, Li Yang, this stone is a divine crystal, a treasure that can enhance your strength. With your current strength of the first and second series of gods, you can increase your overall strength 5-fold. Your current strength can at least be close to the second series of gods, right? Divine crystal. Li Yang thought secretly in his heart. He looked at Daolu sect master and said truthfully, Teacher, I have refined some dragon scale insects before. Now I am activating this divine crystal. The overall foundation has exceeded the second series of gods. Oh! Refined dragon scale insects? Now the strength exceeds the second series of gods. Hearing what Li Yang said, Daolu sect master's eyes lit up. That's even better. When you enter the killing battlefield, you will receive less attention from the aliens. Those aliens pay attention to the new members entering the killing battlefield. Among them, those between the first and second series of gods must be the focus of surveillance. After all, Li Yang only had the initial strength to kill ordinary gods before. In a short period of time, it is impossible to exceed the level of the second series of gods. Now, Li Yang has surpassed the second level gods. Even if he enters the killing battlefield, the alien race will definitely not pay much attention to him. This is of course a good thing. Looking at the Daolu sect master, Li Yang couldn't help but say, Teacher, this god crystal has a sudden effect on the strength of gods, and it must have an effect on you. The Daolu sect master is also in the realm of gods at this time. Haha, Li Yang, although this god crystal is a little useful to me, the effect is almost negligible, Daolu sect master said with a smile. The power of the god crystal is limited. It is basically the top when it is activated 5 times. When you really have the strength of a 3-level god, this god crystal is estimated to increase your strength by 3 times. When you have the strength of a 4-level god, this god crystal will be even less effective, and it is estimated that it can only increase by 1 or 2 times. The teacher is now a 5-level god, so of course he doesn't need this god crystal. Any treasure, especially a treasure that increases strength, has an upper limit. For example, a dragon scale insect can increase the strength of a peak cultivator in the world realm by 5 times. Bar Book 69 New. But if a god refines it, the increase in strength is estimated to be less than double. The same is true for the god crystal. The weaker the strength, the greater the effect of the god crystal. As the strength continues to increase, its effect will also decrease rapidly. So, the god crystal is useless to the teacher, but it is of the greatest use to you. You should use it well, Daolu sect master said with a smile. Hearing this, Li Yang did not say anything more, and said respectfully, Thank you for the gift, teacher, I will definitely use it well. He was moved in his heart. This god crystal is definitely an unimaginable treasure. It is of infinite value. Even for Daolu sect master, it may have a little effect. It can't double Daolu sect master's strength, but it should be possible to increase it by 10%. Well, go ahead. If you encounter difficulties in understanding the laws at ordinary times, just come to me directly. When you have accumulated enough, go and ask the eternal ancestor. Daolu sect master advised. What is the status of the eternal ancestor? That is an existence that can create the universe and create life. Li Yang can solve the problems he encounters in cultivation, and there is no need to bother the eternal ancestor at all. Daolu sect master was worried that Li Yang would ask eternal ancestor about various law issues, which would make eternal ancestor unhappy. Yes, teacher. Li Yang nodded. Disciple, I'm leaving. After looking at Daolu sect master for the last time, Li Yang finally left. Teacher, you have been very kind to me. When I have the chance in the future, I must repay you well. As he walked on the road, Li Yang said silently in his heart. He is too weak now, and it is obvious that he can't help Daolu sect master at all. However, he believes that there will be a time when he can help Daolu sect master in the future. Now, start exchanging treasures. Li Yang came to an area. Like ordinary treasures, you can exchange them by clicking on the watch, but what are top-level artifacts? Most emperors use top-level artifacts. To get treasures of this level, Li Yang must come to the resource library of the Eternal Temple of the Human Race. Soon, Li Yang came to a huge palace, where an old man was sitting cross-legged. The old man was wearing a black robe and was only about 1.5 meters tall. He looked kind and benevolent. However, according to the information Li Yang had learned before, the treasure keeper of the Eternal Temple of the Human Race was a powerful man with extremely terrifying strength. Being able to guard the treasure house of the human race's resources, just think about it and you will know that the old man's strength is extraordinary. Hello, Lord Muyan. Looking at the old man, Li Yang said respectfully. The old man in the black robe looked at Li Yang and asked, Li Yang? What are you doing here? Li Yang's previous reputation was so great that the old man Muyan certainly knew him. Lord Muyan, the temple gave me a reward before. After I break through to the world realm, I can choose 2 top-level artifacts for free, Li Yang said respectfully. When the old man Muyan heard what Li Yang said, he closed his eyes slightly, opened them after a while, nodded, and said with a smile, That's right, go in, you can take your time to choose. Li Yang nodded and walked into the exchange palace. In front of the palace, there was a huge screen. Li Yang clicked on the screen, and suddenly the information of top artifacts appeared in front of him. Thanks to Banzhengliang Daoshang for the 1500 reward, thanks to Master and Apprentice Mode for the 500 reward, thanks to Zero Eta for the 100 reward, thank you. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, Ji Difeng Ren. Chapter 483. Li Yang clicked on the screen, and suddenly the information of top artifacts appeared in front of him. Before, with Li Yang's authority, he could not find any artifacts at all, but now Li Yang has broken through to the world realm, and he is also a disciple of the Eternal Ancestor, so any artifact can be easily found. At this time, Li Yang was also thinking about what treasures he needed to exchange. I have many weapons on me now, so I will not consider other clones for the time being, just consider the main body, Li Yang said secretly. So, do your best to make up for the treasures needed by the main body. He has several clones. If you want to get a few treasures for each clone, it is completely unrealistic, so what Li Yang has to do now is to improve the strength of the main body. All clones are not considered. The holy artifact Suanmi gun can be used. There is a phantom armor to help hide the fluctuations. The possibility of being discovered is extremely small, but it is better not to use it frequently, but I also have a high-level artifact Black Moon Knife, so attack-type artifacts are not considered. At this time, he can't fully activate the power of the Suanmi gun. If it can't be fully activated, then there will naturally be many flaws when using it, and it may be recognized by others. When he becomes stronger, he can control the Suanmi gun more perfectly, and then he can activate it a little, without fear of being recognized. But no matter what, Li Yang is not short of attack treasures now. Li Yang secretly said, "What I lack now is defense and speed." Strong defense naturally makes his life-saving ability stronger. As for faster speed, he can take the initiative in the battle, fight when he wants to fight, and leave when he wants to leave. These two treasures are naturally indispensable. Li Yang looked at them quickly and soon valued the two treasures. Top Artifact Golden Moon Armor. The power of the 5 series of gods can be fully activated, which can weaken the attack by 10% to 90%. Top Artifact Speed Cloud Boots. The 5 series of gods can be fully activated. Some information about the two top artifacts was revealed in front of Li Yang. There was a lot of information. In short, now Li Yang activated the God Crystal given by the Lord of Daolu, and exerted the power that exceeded the second series of gods. When he fought with other second series gods, the opponent's attack could be weakened by 90%. The attack power of the second-class gods fell on him, just like an ordinary god attacking him. 69shux.com. As for activating the Speed Cloud Boots, Li Yang's speed can be increased by 3 times. At this time, he cannot fully activate the power of the Speed Cloud Boots. When he has the strength of the third-class gods, activating the Speed Cloud Boots can still increase his speed by 3 times. This is a powerful top-level artifact. Now, Li Yang seems to have several top-level artifacts on him. In fact, most gods can't touch the top-level artifacts at all, not even one. After all, the top-level artifacts Soul Guardian Orb and Phantom Armor were given by the Eternal Ancestor. As for the two that Li Yang is about to get, it's because of the corpse of the Protoss dragon. If it weren't for these things, Li Yang wouldn't be able to get a top-level artifact. This level of treasure, appearing in the killing battlefield, will cause countless gods to fight and snatch crazily. These are the two. Li Yang made up his mind and no longer hesitated. He talked to the old man Mu Yan. Mu Yan waved his right hand, and then 2 balls of light flew out, and finally a golden armor and a white combat boot appeared in front of Li Yang. "Li Yang, do you have anything else to choose?" asked the old man Mu Yan. Li Yang said respectfully, "Lord Mu Yan, I also want a portion of the blood of the ancestral dragon." Yes, Mu Yan nodded. When he just checked Li Yang's 2 top artifacts, he also knew that Li Yang could apply for the blood of the ancestral dragon for free. "Li Yang, each portion of the blood of the ancestral dragon contains 3 drops of the blood of the ancestral dragon." Mu Yan quickly took out a tube of potion, the color of which was completely red. 3 drops. Li Yang was not surprised to hear this. In fact, if the Emperor perfectly refines the blood of the ancestral dragon, he can increase his strength 10-fold, and the blood of the ancestral dragon required must be more than 3 drops. However, there are almost no truly perfect refining. If you can refine some, it is good to increase your strength by 2 or 3 times. Therefore, each portion of the ancestral dragon essence blood is not much. Of course, the price is cheaper this way. Even if you refine it, you can naturally exchange it. If you can't refine it, it's useless to exchange more. Of course, even if it is 1 portion, it is not something that ordinary gods can exchange. The strong who refine the ancestral dragon essence blood are at least 4 series gods and 5 series gods. Li Yang, you can apply for the ancestral dragon essence blood for free. If you refine all 3 drops of essence blood, you can apply for another one, the old man Mu Yan said. The meaning is very simple. If these 3 drops are not refined, Li Yang will definitely not be able to apply, unless he spends contribution points to exchange, which is also to prevent Li Yang from applying at will and giving it to others. Yes, Lord Mu Yan. Li Yang nodded. After getting the ancestral dragon essence blood, Li Yang continued to exchange. He now has more than 100 billion contribution points in his account, so of course he has to exchange for various things. Life-saving spiritual fruits that quickly improve strength, medicinal herbs, potions, etc. Maybe he will summon a clone in the killing battlefield. The clone summoned is the weakest. If you want to upgrade to the peak of the world realm, the resources required are also astronomical. In addition, the gold-eating bugs must be cultivated vigorously, Li Yang said secretly. Gold-eating insects are a very special kind of life in the universe, which can devour everything. Their reproductive capacity is amazing, and the stronger they are, the stronger their reproductive capacity is. If a gold-eating insect mother is cultivated to the god realm at a great cost, each of its offspring will not reach the god realm, but will exceed the world realm, between the world realm and the god realm. It can be imagined that many gold-eating insect offspring gather together, and wherever they go, it is estimated that even the gods will be wiped out. If the gold-eating insect is thoroughly cultivated, it will definitely be an invincible strongman in the god realm. It can dominate the battlefield. Bye. At this time, Li Yang didn't care about the contribution points at all. As long as he felt that it was useful, he would buy it directly. Finally, all the transactions were completed. These actually cost him nearly 10 billion contribution points. These contribution points are equivalent to all the wealth of many gods. Of course, these contribution points are spent more on the resources for the cultivation of gold-eating insects. Other resources cost less than 1 billion, but the resources needed by gold-eating insects cost more than 9 billion at once. In fact, these huge amounts of resources may not necessarily be able to cultivate the mother gold-eating worm to the realm of gods, and the probability is not high. If it fails, it will be necessary to continue to invest huge amounts of resources. Of course, Li Yang does not count on the gold-eating worm now. If he wants to cultivate it, he does not know how long it will take, at least for decades. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, Ji Difeng Ren. Chapter 484. After the exchange was completed, Li Yang did not stay for long and left the exchange treasure house directly. All exchanges are completed. It's time to leave now, Li Yang took a deep breath. This time, he did not return to the Lianyuan Mountains, and finally prepared to leave the eternal temple of the human race. My current foundation is completely comparable to the second-level gods, and with many top-level artifacts, most of the second-level gods are estimated to be helpless at this time. Li Yang was happy. The holy artifact Suanmi gun, the high-level artifact Black Moon knife, the top-level defensive artifact Golden Moon armor, the top-level speed artifact Speed Cloud combat boots, the top-level soul defense artifact Soul guarding orb, and the top-level artifact Phantom armor that changes the breadth of the figure. By activating the God Crystal given by the Lord of Daolu, he has the strength to surpass the second-level gods. And the treasures on him almost surpass all the second-level gods. In real battle, he can at least be in the middle to upper level among the second-level gods. Let's go. After taking a last look at the temple, Li Yang directly entered the aircraft. The aircraft entered the space transmission array, and Li Yang disappeared directly. This time, Li Yang left quietly alone, without any protector around him. Before, Li Yang's protector was the 3 series god Heisu, and now, in a real battle, even if Li Yang is not Heisu's opponent, Heisu may not be able to do anything to him. On this day, Li Yang left the eternal temple of the human race, and when he came back again, what level of strength would Li Yang reach? Yangyuan star continent, Milky Way, solar system, Earth. Before, because of the matter of the ancestor dragon, it attracted the attention of countless strong people, who came to the Earth to explore. There is a life like the ancestor dragon in the solar system, and there may be other secrets. Therefore, after the birth of the ancestor dragon, the number of people on the entire Earth increased dramatically, and from time to time, the figures of strong people in the solar system were detected by the monitors arranged by Li Yang. However, after the news that Li Yang was accepted as a disciple by the eternal ancestors spread, these strong men all restrained themselves and dared not to explore anything in the solar system at will. The entire solar system returned to peace again. This is the situation without strength and background. Even if you have a treasure, you will be coveted by many. At this time, Li Kuahe, Zhao Rou, and others were waiting above an ocean on the earth. In addition to them, there was Li Yang's son Li Dong. Next to Li Dong was Li Yang's grandson Li Hao. Only next to Li Hao was there a girl, who was holding a child in her arms. Whoosh! Suddenly a flying vehicle appeared, and then a young man flew out. Yang Yang. Li Yang. Dad. Grandpa. Seeing Li Yang appear, voices rang out one after another. Dad, Mom. Looking at the family members in front of him, Li Yang smiled. His eyes looked at the girl next to Li Hao, or more accurately, at the child in the girl's hands. Noticing Li Yang's gaze, Li Hao immediately smiled and said, Grandpa, this is your great-grandson. He hasn't been named yet. I'm waiting for you to name him. AHH. The little baby stared at Li Yang, not crying, and there seemed to be a hint of curiosity in his eyes. Great-grandson. Li Yang didn't know what he felt in his heart. He felt very young now, but he actually had a great-grandson. The Li family, including his parents' generation, already has 5 generations, and the number of people has exceeded more than a dozen. His son Li Dong doesn't have only Li Hao as a child. Li Hao now has a child. Next, it is estimated that the number of people in the 5th generation of their Li family will continue to increase. If this continues, how many people will there be in the entire Li family? Li Yang, your human race has average basic talent, almost in the lower middle position in the universe, but the reproductive capacity is amazing, and it is precisely because of this that your human race is so strong. With more people, there will always be some geniuses. At this moment, Han Mo's voice sounded in Li Yang's mind, and he said leisurely, the demon race is similar to your human race, and the reproductive capacity is also extremely amazing. In the entire universe, the human race and the demon race are the strongest. Even if the probability of genius is small, there will always be geniuses with more people. Your Earth has just developed, and your human race is slightly stronger. Not to mention the Star-Lord realm and the World realm, the number of members in the Wanshao realm family alone is an amazing number. The Wanshao realm cultivator has a lifespan of 10,000 years, an average of 20 to 30 years per generation, so you can imagine how many generations can be reproduced. Your current status is destined to make the Li family a large family in the future, and it may even be spread throughout the entire Milky Way. I know. Li Yang nodded. He muttered to himself, will I have millions of descendants in the future? This feeling is very strange, but Li Yang knows that as time goes by, their Li family will continue to grow and develop along this trend, and eventually become a large family. Thinking in his heart, Li Yang smiled and said, let me think about the naming. Now let's go back and have a reunion dinner together. Yang Yang, the food is ready, just waiting for you. Hearing this, Li Yang's mother Zhao Rou hurriedly said. The family went back together and had a good meal together. Li Yang also enjoyed a rare peaceful life before the tempering. Deep in the seabed of the earth, a huge octopus is swimming. This octopus does not look very big, but if you carefully feel the fluctuations in its body, you can feel the terrifying power in it. Suddenly, the octopus clone looked into the distance, and the whole body was rioting. During this riot, a breath wave that even exceeded that of ordinary gods burst out. Its entire body also suddenly expanded from a few hundred meters, and even became tens of thousands of meters long in a short time. Boom! The giant octopus that was tens of thousands of meters long had extremely thick tentacles. It was estimated that it could directly destroy a planet with one pull. Its body rioted, and a slight movement was a long distance. In less than a few seconds, the giant octopus came to a place. Although its power was terrifying, it suddenly stopped here. A young man appeared in front of it. Compared with the giant octopus, the young man's body was like a sesame seed, but the giant octopus was very well behaved in front of it. Octopus clone looking at the giant beast that was tens of thousands of meters long in front of him, Li Yang showed a smile at the corner of his mouth. With such strength, the octopus clone can also easily expand or shrink its body size. Li Yang, your octopus clone is now stronger than ordinary gods. Inside the soul crystal, Han Mo sighed, as time goes by, so do the boats. I have never heard of a strong person with octopus life in the universe. Your clone may be the first one. In his opinion, the octopus clone is useless, but as Li Yang's strength increases, the octopus clone also wins without any effort, and its strength is constantly increasing. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, Ji Difeng Ren. Chapter 485. Li Yang was used to hearing what Han Jing said. He smiled and said, "It just so happens that the octopus clone is concentrating on protecting the Earth." As he spoke, he quickly came to a place. He waved his right hand, and then a stone from the deep sea came into his hand. The stone cracked and a space ring appeared inside. Li Yang's world tree clone was hidden in this space ring. "Li Yang, what are you doing here?" Looking at Li Yang's movements, Han Mo asked in confusion. As soon as the words fell, a hint of surprise suddenly appeared in his eyes. In front of Li Yang, an extremely ferocious insect beast appeared. The insect beast was black all over, with 16 legs below the abdomen. Its eyes were purple, and there was a hint of purple secret pattern on its black body. It exuded an extremely dark and cold breath all over its body. After it appeared, the surroundings seemed to dim. Dark Insect King. Looking at this insect beast emitting a dark and cold breath, Han Mo was surprised. He felt it a little and thought of something. Is this another one bred by your world tree? The Dark Worm King is a natural god, and can master the 4 mysteries of the Dark Law when he matures. Its life level is exactly the same as the Fire Ghost Beast, the Time God Tree, etc. Yes, Li Yang nodded. A year and a half has passed, and his 6th clone has finally been conceived. Moreover, his 4 laws of time, space, lightning, and fire have all broken through to the world realm. In terms of strength, this Dark Worm King, which has just been conceived for less than a year, can directly kill ordinary gods. Han Mo did not speak, looking at the Dark Worm King in front of him. This is Li Yang's 3rd clone of the god. It is also Li Yang's 6th clone. Obviously, Li Yang has a big secret, but he guessed it when Li Yang conceived a clone of the god before, so he was just a little surprised at this time. What is the secret? He keeps giving birth to clones of the god. Is this left by the ancestor of creation? Han Mo said secretly in his heart. His strength at the beginning was also very strong, reaching the level of domination, but he was also shocked by the secret of Li Yang. The world realm, whose life level is not the top level, has been constantly violating the rules of the universe and giving birth to a series of god clones. While Han Mo was thinking, Li Yang was also looking at his Dark Insect King clone. He thought for a while and suddenly asked, Han Mo, what level of life is the ancestor dragon? I tried to give birth to the ancestor dragon before, but failed at the beginning. Puff. Hearing Li Yang's words, if Han Mo had something in his mouth, he would definitely spray it out. He looked very strange and asked, what did you say? You gave birth to the ancestor dragon clone. He looked very strange. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. Well, I tried it before. Li Yang nodded. Just a trace of blood can make the life level of Kong Lai Jiaolong and others reach the world realm. The life level of this ancestor dragon must be very high, and may even surpass the gods. Li Yang certainly has ideas about this. What if the world tree clone is bred? Whether it succeeds or not, Li Yang will definitely try it. Even if it fails, it will not have much impact. As a result, the breeding failed at the beginning. The world tree can't analyze the genes of the ancestor dragon at all. Han Mo looked weird and said, Li Yang, you dare to think about breeding the ancestor dragon clone? He shook his head and said, do you know what level the ancestor dragon is at? I don't know. Li Yang shook his head. He had some guesses in his mind, but he certainly didn't understand the specific situation. Han Mo said, Master, the fire ghost divine beast, the time divine tree, etc. are born gods, and this ancestor dragon is a natural master. Born master. Hearing Han Mo's words, Li Yang's eyes showed surprise. How powerful is the master? The most powerful in the entire universe is the ancestor of creation, but in the universe, there are only about 10 tribes with the ancestor of creation. It is conceivable that there are not many ancestors of creation in the entire universe. Except for the ancestor of creation, the master is the strongest. It can be said that if you become a master, you can basically walk sideways in the universe. The tribe with the master can even exist independently in the universe. But it is also very difficult to become a master. According to Li Yang's estimation, there are not many masters in the entire human race. Yes, there are not many ancestor dragons in the entire universe, but every time they appear, this ancestor dragon is in the ancestor realm. Han Mo continued to say the amazing news, the natural master is still a guess. Many strong people have judged that this ancestor dragon may even be the natural ancestor of creation. But the natural ancestor of creation is too shocking, so many people accept the words of the natural master. Otherwise, why do you think the ancestor dragon is called this name? The ancestor of creation is the pinnacle of the universe. Is there any life that is born at this level? This is simply a fairy tale. So few people believe it. As for the natural master, although it is also hard to believe, there is still a slight possibility. At this time, Li Yang was completely shocked. Each ancestor dragon has the strength of the ancestor of creation as soon as it comes out. Even this ancestor dragon may be the natural ancestor? The peak of the universe? This is simply the most beloved darling of the universe. So, when I said that I bred this ancestor dragon, it was completely a dream. Han Mo said in a light voice, do you think you can breed a natural master, or even a clone at the level of the natural ancestor? Li Yang did not speak. He bred the clone of the natural god, and he needed to practice the soul chapter of the mysterious sword to breed it. After the soul is complete, it can be bred. Thinking in his heart, Li Yang suddenly asked, Han Mo, since there are natural rulers like the ancestral dragon in the universe, and there may even be life at the level of the natural ancestor of creation, then there should be other levels, right? For example, the natural emperor. Before, he thought there were only natural gods, but now the natural rulers and even the natural ancestors have appeared, so is there a natural emperor? He may not be able to breed such a life now, but it is entirely possible to breed it in the future. The higher the level of life, if it is bred, the greater the benefit to him. The natural emperor has existed before. Han Mo thought for a while and said, but it only appeared once. It was a creature called Holy Meteorite. Its level was so high that I don't know how much shock it caused in a short period of time. However, after this creature appeared, it disappeared in a short period of time, resulting in the fact that the major ethnic groups knew very little about this creature, and even the later ethnic groups might not know about this creature. Really, hearing Han Mo's words, Li Yang's heart moved. He clicked on the watch to check, but with his authority, he couldn't find anything at all, and the eternal temple of the human race didn't have any materials about the creature Holy Meteorite. Thanks to half a lifetime of coolness to death for the 1500 reward, and thanks to Zero Eta for the 100 reward, thank you. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 486. No, Li Yang checked, but found nothing. He is now a disciple of the Eternal Ancestor, and his authority is naturally very high. He can't find some materials of holy meteorite in the eternal temple of the human race, which means that there should be no materials in the eternal temple of the human race. Li Yang is of course interested in the holy meteorite of the Tiansheng Emperor. He may have the possibility of nurturing such a life in the future. After all, as his strength continues to increase, his soul will become stronger and stronger. Han Mo, do you know which tribe got the body part of the holy meteorite after it fell? Li Yang asked. I don't know, but I guess no tribe got it, Han Mo said. The holy meteorite is also very strong. In the end, he was hunted down and seemed to enter the Jedi alone, and then disappeared completely. Disappeared after entering the Jedi, Li Yang frowned slightly. If there are parts of the body of the holy meteorite, he will definitely collect them, but now it seems that there is no hope. After thinking for a while, Li Yang finally chose to give up. Forget it, I don't want to think about it anymore. My clone is already very powerful now. It's not good to be too greedy. At this time, Li Yang's own trump card is already so strong. There is no hope of getting the Saint Meteor of the Natural Emperor level now, and it's useless to think too much. The Dark Worm King has been bred for a short time, so stay on Earth for a while to understand the Dark Law with peace of mind. Looking at the Dark Worm King, Li Yang left many resources, as well as various secret books about the Dark Law exchanged from the Eternal Temple of the human race. With the secret book of the law to study, the law will naturally be understood more quickly. After returning to Earth, Li Yang stayed at home for a week and spent some time with his family. And a week later, Li Yang finally decided to leave. Zhou Yao, Xiaodong, I'm going to the killing battlefield this time, and it may take a long time before I come back. The things at home are completely left to you. Li Yang looked at the two people in front of him and said, if there is anything, contact me in time. The killing battlefield is not in the human territory, and it takes a long time just to go there. After going to the killing battlefield, Li Yang will definitely take a long time to come back. According to his plan, he will probably come back after he becomes a god. According to the situation of his various clones, it will take only 100 or 200 years for him to become a fire god and a time god. Therefore, it is estimated that he will be away from home for 100 or 200 years. Dad, don't worry, no one dares to provoke the earth now, and we will also restrain the earthlings. Li Dong looked at his father and said hurriedly. He looked at his father with admiration. He has always taken his father as his goal, and has been practicing hard, eager to become a strong man. As for Zhou Yao, there was a look of great worry in his eyes, and he said, Li Yang, you must be careful. The killing battlefield, just listen to the name to know what it is. I don't know how many strong people have experienced killing there, and the probability of death is extremely high. Don't worry, Li Yang nodded. Yang. Beside him, Li Kuahe and Zhao Rou's faces were also full of worry. Mom and Dad, Zhou Yao, Xiaodong, I'm leaving. After saying goodbye to his family, Li Yang finally left the Earth alone. Inside the aircraft, Li Yang looked at the chaotic airflow that was constantly retreating, and thought to himself, I don't know when I will come back next time. It has been less than 100 years since he was born. This time he will probably not be able to come back until 100 years later. Li Yang's heart is of course complicated. Rightward arrow. However, this is something that must be experienced in the process of growing up. Concentrating his mind, Li Yang sat down cross-legged. He waved his right hand, and then a drop of blood appeared in his hand. It was the blood of the ancestor dragon. Li Yang, how do you feel about absorbing the blood of the ancestor dragon during this period? The shadow of Han Mo floated out and asked. Li Yang said, I can absorb it, but the speed of absorption is not fast. Hearing this, Han Mo said, you can refine and absorb the blood of the ancestor dragon in the realm of gods, which means that you are very suitable for refining. Even if you reach the level of the emperor in the future, it will not be a problem to use the blood of the ancestor dragon to increase your strength by 2 or 3 times. Li Yang nodded, not too happy. It took him 2 months to return to Earth after exchanging the ancestral dragon's blood essence from the eternal temple of the human race. Even if he absorbed the ancestral dragon's blood essence in these 2 months, his strength increased very little. Take your time. This time, it will take at least 2.5 years to go to the killing battlefield. During this time, the main body will concentrate on refining the ancestral dragon's blood essence. If this kind of treasure can be refined, the increase in strength will be too great. In the following time, Li Yang began his career of refining the ancestral dragon's blood essence. At the beginning, he did feel the difficulty of refining this blood essence, and his body seemed to have a great rejection. However, after half a year, as his body began to integrate this blood essence, Li Yang found that the difficulty of his refining was actually decreasing. The speed of refining was increasing. What's going on? Li Yang was very surprised and immediately asked Han Mo. What? The difficulty of refining the ancestral dragon's blood essence is decreasing? The refining speed is getting faster and faster? Hearing what Li Yang said, Han Mo was obviously surprised, his eyes were full of confusion. According to what I know, the difficulty of refining the blood of the ancestral dragon should be getting greater and greater, and the more you go, the less you can absorb. Is there something special about your body? Seeing that Han Mo didn't know the reason, Li Yang thought to himself, what's special about the body? He thought, could it be because of the mysterious sword's internal skills? The mysterious sword internal skills, at the beginning, are to temper his body. Only later is it to cultivate the soul. Li Yang has always felt that the latter part of cultivating the soul is powerful, because it can not only make his soul complete, but also allow the world tree clone to continuously breed clones. As for the previous part of tempering the body, Li Yang has always felt that it is nothing. But now that I think about it, since it is the skills of the mysterious sword, the body is tempered in the front, and the soul is cultivated in the back. Are the two really so different? Maybe his body was raised to a perfect level by the mysterious sword internal skills. Before, when he tempered his body in the thunder pool of the Thunder Spirit clan, he also showed a strong physical talent, and even made the weapon spirit in the thunder pool come out and want to go with him. The more Li Yang thought about it, the more possible it was. No matter what the reason, I can refine more blood of the ancestor dragon, and my strength will definitely increase more. Many thoughts turned in his mind, and at this time Li Yang was more happy. Refining more blood of the ancestor dragon, his strength will be stronger, and of course he is happy. Continue. Sensing this change, Li Yang was even more motivated. In the following time, Li Yang continued to refine. Time continued to pass. 1 month, 2 months. Then Li Yang continued to absorb, and soon 2.5 years passed. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 487. Monster Clan. On the extremely huge mountain peak, the black giant python looks down. How is the situation of human Li Yang? The black python asked in a deep voice. Previously, Li Yang passed the 40th step of the road to God and became a disciple of the eternal ancestor. Li Yang was the genius they wanted to kill the most, even ranking first. In the past few years, he has been paying attention to Li Yang, silently looking for opportunities. Master Mang Yuan. Below, a monster beast said quickly. Human Li Yang returned to Earth before and then disappeared. According to our calculations, human Li Yang should have gone to the killing battlefield. According to time estimates, in these two human Li Yang should arrive in a month. Killing fields. After hearing the report below, Mang Yuan said in a deep voice, in that case, pay careful attention to everyone who has entered the killing battlefield in recent times. Those whose strength is between the gods of the first series and the gods of the second series will be the focus of observation. In addition, new strong men who surpass the second series of gods are also within the range. The human race must value human Li Yang's display of such a powerful talent, and may be given treasures to enhance his strength. These treasures are entirely possible to surpass human Li Yang's. The strength has been upgraded to the level of the second series of gods. Mang Yuan is not a fool, so he naturally knows that some treasures can greatly increase the strength of gods. Of course, Li Yang had only initially killed ordinary gods before. Even if there were treasures that could increase Li Yang's strength by 10 times, he had basically reached the end of the level of the second series of gods. It was impossible to have stronger strength to increase Li Yang's strength. Reached the level of 3 series of gods. If you master one more law, your strength will be 10 times greater. The difference in strength between ordinary gods and the gods of the 3 series is 100 times. Is there any treasure that can increase Li Yang's strength 100 times? This is simply impossible. Therefore, his goal is the gods of the first series and the gods of the second series. Those unfamiliar faces might all be human Li Yang in disguise. In addition to human Li Yang, we should also pay attention to human Hongsu. Human Hongsu should also be killed. Mang Yuan said in a deep voice, his face full of murderous intent. After Li Yang passed the 40th step on the road to gods, the human Hongsu also passed it. Although Hongsu's talent is not as good as Li Yang's, it will definitely be easy to become an emperor in the future. If these two human geniuses are not killed, humanity will have 2 more emperors in the future. Yes. The monster below responded respectfully and quickly went to make arrangements. Li Yang was not aware of the movements of the demon clan. In the aircraft, Li Yang sat cross-legged silently. There was a drop of blood in his hand, which was the blood of the ancestor dragon. However, at this time, the volume of this drop of Archosaur was reduced by half. Li Yang silently refined and absorbed it, and at one point he finally stopped. Has the absorption limit been reached? Li Yang felt it. At this time, no matter how much he absorbed, he could not refine even a trace of the ancestral dragon's blood. Looks like I've reached my limit. It is definitely impossible to absorb any treasure without limit. There will be a limit. The blood of the ancestral dragon can continuously improve the strength. It can really absorb treasures such as the blood of the ancestral dragon infinitely. Then to what level will the strength be improved? Despite this, Li Yang was still extremely happy. Bashu 69 knew. There are only 3 drops of blood essence of the ancestor dragon, and now he has absorbed half a drop. What is this concept? With his right hand clenched, Li Yang suddenly felt an extremely terrifying power. Previously, Li Yang refined 10 dragon scale insects, which increased his base by more than 3 times. But now, he feels that his strength has greatly improved, surpassing that of the dragon scale insect. Before, I combined various trump cards to rival the gods of the second series. But now I have refined half a drop of dragon scale insect essence and blood, which has improved my own foundation tenfold again. Li Yang was very happy in his heart. That's right, it's 10 times, and based on Li Yang's activation of the God Crystal, which completely rivaled the second series of gods, it increased by 10 times again. This is what he has improved in the past 2.5 years. The strength of the gods of the third series is exactly 10 times that of the gods of the second series. Before, I could fight with the gods of the second series. Now the essence and blood of the ancestral dragon has increased my strength 10 times, my own foundation now has definitely reached the level of the gods of the third series. Level, Li Yang's face was filled with joy. Without relying on the top-level artifacts on his body, Li Yang's current strength has even reached the level of a 3-series god when fighting with the same weapons. Can you imagine what a huge progress this is? How long has it been since he killed an ordinary god? In just 4 or 5 years, he has grown from an ordinary god to the level of a 3-line god. Increase your strength by 100 times. If he uses another top-level artifact, it is estimated that more than half of the 3 series of gods will not be his opponent. At this time, Li Yang can be called a powerful god. Among the gods, most of them are ordinary gods and 2nd series gods. The two account for almost 80%. At this time, Li Yang's strength is definitely at an upper middle level among the gods. As expected of the blood of the ancestor dragon, Li Yang looked at the blood in his hand and sighed in his heart. Treasures like the god crystal can only increase his strength 5 times, but just half a drop of the blood essence of the ancestral dragon is much more effective than the god crystal. This is the reason why so many strong men are extremely eager for the blood essence of the ancestral dragon. Normally, it is very difficult to improve one's strength. All one has to do is refine the essence and blood of the ancestral dragon, and one's strength will increase one after another. This feeling is so wonderful. In the midst of joy, the shadow of Hun Mo floated out. He looked at Li Yang, and there was a strange color in his eyes at this time. Li Yang, how did you do this? You actually refined half a drop of the blood of the ancestral dragon. Hun Mo was surprised and said, even the emperor may not be able to do it, right? There are only a few emperors who can refine the blood of the ancestral dragon. Among these few, the top ones can refine more than 10 drops and increase their strength by 2 or 3 times. The others can refine even less, and there are many who can refine less than half a drop. Moreover, this takes them a long time to refine. But Li Yang, a world realm, only spent 2.5 years to refine half a drop. The overall strength has even increased tenfold. Just the world realm, the foundation itself can rival the 3 series of gods. This is too amazing. Before, Li Yang could kill ordinary gods in a few decades and shake the universe. Now, if the situation of Li Yang rivaling the 3 series of gods spreads, it will definitely cause a greater shock. Luck hearing what Hun Mo said, Li Yang smiled and said, he will definitely not tell about the mysterious little sword. Hearing Li Yang's words, Hun Mo curled his lips. Obviously, Li Yang was changing the subject again. Being able to refine half a drop of the ancestral dragon's blood must be related to the secret of Li Yang. However, he also knew how huge the secret of Li Yang was. If it were him, he would not choose to tell it. Going out, thank you for the 1,500 reward from Bancheng Dea Shang, and thank you for the 100 reward from 088. Thank you. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, Ji Difeng Ren. Chapter 488. While talking to Han Mo, Li Yang carefully felt the special energy produced by refining the blood essence of the ancestor dragon. It was this strange energy that caused his strength to increase dramatically, and it also increased his own foundation. Any strength needs to be exerted through laws. Through attacks one after another, the power of the laws can be expanded several times and released. The more powerful the attack method, the more powerful your strength can be. The more powerful the weapon, the stronger your attack will be. Different attacks make his strength play out differently, but the laws Li Yang understands remain unchanged, to the same extent, that is, his foundation remains unchanged. But the essence and blood of the ancestral dragon changed his foundation. After he activates the law, the refined blood energy of the ancestor dragon can be integrated into the law, causing the power of the law to increase instantly. Feeling it carefully, Li Yang's expression suddenly changed slightly. When he fully mobilized those energies, they suddenly gathered together, and then slowly emerged on the surface of his body. The whole thing looked like a pair of blood-colored armor, but the armor was blurry and unclear. Not solid armor? The ancestral dragon's essence and blood energy was fully activated, and it actually formed a pair of armor. Li Yang was surprised. Hun Mo, what's going on? At this time, Hun Mo was also watching. He looked at Li Yang and said, refining the blood essence of the ancestral dragon can greatly increase the strength, and refining enough blood essence of the ancestral dragon can condense the bleeding dragon armor. This blood dragon armor is completely made of the ancestral dragon. It is made of condensed blood. As long as it is condensed, it can activate the whole body. If you absorb energy, the energy will definitely spread throughout the body. If it is stimulated, it will mobilize the energy of all parts of the body. But if a piece of armor is activated, you only need to directly activate the armor's energy, which will undoubtedly save a lot of trouble. After hearing Han Mo's explanation, it was obvious that the essence and blood of the ancestral dragon condensed into armor was no secret. At this time, Li Yang was just surprised. In the universe, anything can happen. The ancestral dragon itself is an incredible existence. It is not incomprehensible that blood can be condensed into armor. Seeing Li Yang keep trying, Han Mo couldn't help but sigh. In just a few years, the strength has increased 100 times. Han Mo sighed, this time when you go to the killing battlefield, it is estimated that those aliens will never recognize you. Hearing this, Li Yang smiled slightly and said, it's best if you don't recognize him. The foreign race is probably looking for his figure in the killing battlefield, targeting the gods of the first series and the gods of the second series. Who would have thought that Li Yang, a human evil genius who could kill ordinary gods in just a few decades of training, would be stronger than most of the 3 series gods in just a few years. Even if he was on the killing battlefield, no one would associate him with Li Yang. After testing for a while, Li Yang stopped. Li Yang held the ancestral dragon essence and blood in his right hand and put it away. I have absorbed it to the limit now, but as my strength increases, I should be able to refine it. Thinking in his heart, Li Yang's eyes were full of expectation. The stronger the strength, the easier it will be to refine the essence and blood of the ancestral dragon. He had felt it during the refining process before. It cannot be refined now because it is limited by strength. But in the future, his laws will improve rapidly, and more of the ancestral dragon's blood essence and blood will be refined. His strength will continue to improve. While talking to Han Mo, Li Yang suddenly looked into the distance. Arrive. At this time, he was not far away from the killing battlefield. Li Yang was about to arrive, and he was about to face many killings and a life full of crises. As the leader of the sword slaughter sect said, in the killing battlefield, even an ordinary stone may be a disguise of a foreign race. Only by being careful can you live better. However, Li Yang did not have any worries at this time. Boom! On his body, the power belonging to the 3 gods completely exploded. A spear appeared in his hand, and the spear emitted extremely terrifying fluctuations. This is the sacred weapon Xianzhang. Haha, with the strength of the 3 types of gods, plus the sacred weapon Xianzhang, my strength is above average in the killing battlefield. With a powerful soul and many treasures on his body, Li Yang believes that even the gods of the 4 systems cannot do anything to him. As for the gods of the 4 series, they are actually very few in number, not that many. Alien, you want to kill me, but unfortunately you can't find me. Who would have thought that his strength would increase hundreds of times in just a few years? The strength increases dramatically. There are many trump cards, and Li Yang is also full of pride at this time. He is bound to make a name for himself on the killing battlefield. With a thought in his heart, the aura fluctuations on Li Yang's body completely subsided again. The temple has sent a message that there will be dedicated people to respond to you when you arrive at the killing battlefield. Clicking on the watch, Li Yang started sending messages. The killing battlefield is outside the territory of the human race, and those who want to hone their skills there must not fly over slowly one by one. There are special passages and they are strictly controlled. Otherwise, if a passage is opened at will, wouldn't it be possible for the strong men of the alien race to come directly from the killing battlefield to the human race through this passage? This is obviously impossible. After making contact, Li Yang's aircraft quickly arrived at a location. At the entrance of the passage, there was a slender old man, 2 meters tall, waiting. He glanced at the burly middle-aged man who came out, and immediately walked over with a smile, saying, "Haha, Mygzu, nice to see you." His face was full of enthusiasm, and he pulled the burly middle-aged man. This burly middle-aged man was naturally Li Yang's disguise. Now that he was close to the killing battlefield, he must be careful and completely changed his facial aura. The old man who came to meet him was named Baoyun, an ordinary god. While he was talking to Li Yang with a smile, he transmitted his voice, "Mr. Li Yang, we are now in Huo Liao Xingzhou. This time to go to the killing battlefield, we will enter through the teleportation array of Huo Liao Xingzhou. There are 3,000 star continents in the human race, among which there are hundreds of star continents in the marginal area, and there are a total of 36 star continents that can go to the killing battlefield." Li Yang nodded. Although Baoyun is a god, he was obviously respectful when transmitting his voice to Li Yang. Although Li Yang was still in the world realm, he knew that Li Yang could kill gods, so of course he was respectful. In addition, in order to prevent the alien race from being alerted, this time Master Li Yang will enter the killing battlefield with the rest of our human race. The killing battlefield is an excellent place for tempering, with many opportunities, so naturally many people will go there. The human race opens the passage once every month, and those who go there enter together. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, Ji Difeng Ren. Chapter 489. When Li Yang enters the killing battlefield, he must not be treated specially. If it's a little bit special, the aliens will probably be alert immediately. Maybe, there might be sights of aliens in front of the entrances of those passages. I constructed an identity for young Master Li Yang, so that I can reach the passage directly. If you want to go to the killing battlefield to hone your skills, you must report your identity. Li Yang cannot directly reveal his true identity. Therefore, it is best to disguise your identity. Taiwan Novel Network. Rightward arrow. Trouble. Li Yang nodded. The old man Baoyun in front of him was the person specially arranged by the eternal temple of the human race to lead him to the killing battlefield. Naturally, Li Yang would not have any doubts. No trouble. After hearing this, Baoyun said quickly. Just kidding, how lucky he is to be able to contact Li Yang this time. With Li Yang's talent, it will be easy to become an emperor in the future. He might even become the top expert among the emperors, and of course he wanted to curry favor with him. The two of them went to those passages. As they walked, Baoyun said, "Master Li Yang, do you know the information about the killing battlefield?" Li Yang said, "I understand a little bit." Now that he was ready to enter, Li Yang naturally wanted to carefully understand the information about the killing battlefield. The killing fields is an extremely strange place. There are two special features in it. One is the strange gravity pressure. As long as you enter the killing battlefield area, you can feel a pressure, and this pressure is like gravity, preventing you from fully displaying your strength. For example, a strength of 100 can only show 95 under the pressure of gravity. However, when gravity pressure is applied to everyone, your strength is reduced, and my strength is also reduced, so it doesn't have any impact at all. Moreover, this gravitational pressure also has another effect, which is to continuously temper the physical body. This kind of tempering happens all the time, and there is no need to take the initiative. The entire killing battlefield is like an extremely huge gravity field, tempering the physical body of everyone inside. The benefits can be imagined. Gravity pressure is a major feature of the killing battlefield, and another feature is that the killing battlefield is filled with a strange magnetic field. It is said to be a magnetic field, but in fact it is more like a strange substance. For example, some precious treasures are helpful for understanding the laws, such as tranquilizing the mind. In this state, it is naturally easier to understand. And the strange magnetic field of the killing battlefield has such other effects. Entering the killing battlefield, under that strange magnetic field, it is easier to calm down the mind, and it is easier to understand the laws and be touched, so it is easier to break through. Two major characteristics: the pressure of gravity tempers the physical body all the time, and the unique magnetic field helps to better understand the laws. In addition, there are countless opportunities in the killing battlefield. In addition, the killing battlefield is a super inheritance place left by the ancestral realm powerhouse. To enter this place of inheritance, you need 7 colored tokens, and some of these tokens are hidden in the killing battlefield. In addition, the killing fields also has other functions. Taken together, the killing fields has become a favorite place for many powerful people to come. The opportunities above have the greatest impact on the gods, so the gods come the most, from all major ethnic groups. Naturally, there are many conflicts among the many alien races, and they are constantly killing each other. Gradually, this place has turned into a killing battlefield. Of course, although there was a lot of killing and many strong people died, there were also many people who quickly rose up in the killing battlefield, marching on the corpses of major alien races and standing at the pinnacle of the killing battlefield. Despite the high death rate, the killing fields are still rated as the most suitable place for gods to hone their skills. There are many powerful gods who cannot break through the bottleneck in other places, but they can break through in the killing battlefield. Therefore, basically many new people enter every year. Li Yang was thinking in his mind, and Baoun said with a smile, "The killing battlefield is very suitable for training, especially in the realm of gods, but in different areas, the strength of these gods is different. The closer to the edge, the weaker the strength, and the closer to the inside, the weaker the strength. The strength is getting stronger, which is completely increasing." Li Yang nodded. Since it was training, he must find some opponents with similar strength, such as the gods of the second series. Then he went to fight with the gods of the second series, so that it would be effective. If a second-line god goes to find a third-line god or a fourth-line god, it is not tempering, but sending death. When opponents with similar strengths gather together, special battlefields are formed. The entire huge battlefield is divided into ordinary god areas, second series god areas, third series god areas, etc. So, if you don't have enough strength, Mr. Li Yang, don't rush to the inside of the killing battlefield. Although there are more opportunities there, there are also strong people gathered there. In the killing battlefield, the closer to the central area, the higher the probability of treasures appearing. Many top powerhouses gather there, firstly for training, and secondly for the many opportunities. I understand. Li Yang nodded. He continued to listen to what Baoun said. He only had a general understanding of the killing battlefield. Baoun must know more in detail than he did. In addition, some powerful people will have some fixed territories, such as specializing in an area. This is a map of their activities. Mr. Li Yang, you can take a look. Baoun sent a huge map to Li Yang. Li Yang took a look and found that the map mainly marked the edge areas of the killing battlefield. This fringe area is naturally a place for the weak to hone their skills. Most of them are in the world realm, and there are also a few gods. However, there are also very few gods with relatively strong strength who will wait for a long time. They may not be in a hurry to hone their skills, but just practice silently in the killing battlefield. After all, it is easier to break through in the killing battlefield. And if you accidentally provoke them, you can imagine what the consequences will be. Kongaiwa Mountain to the west of the killing battlefield is a gathering place for world-level practitioners, where the second-line gods of the demon race live. Liuzhang River to the south of the killing battlefield is a gathering place for world-level practitioners, where the second-line gods of the water source race live. One after another, information appeared in front of him. These information are all about strong people appearing in the weak area. In fact, the killing battlefield is suitable for gods to hone their skills, but the world realm is the most, and almost all of them are concentrated in the marginal areas. And there will still be some strong people in the weak areas of these world realms, and there will be powerful gods living there for a long time. And if the weak provoke those strong people, you can imagine what the consequences will be. The information in front of him is obviously very precious, marking out the strong people in the weak area one by one. As long as you are careful and don't go to those places and provoke those strong men, the possibility of survival will be greatly increased. Li Yang was watching, and his eyes were searching quickly. Is there a detailed location of the strong men of the Kongli Jiaolong and Lising Beast tribes? This time he came to the killing battlefield and brought the Kongli Jiaolong clone and the Lising Beast clone with him. The best way is naturally for these two clones to meet the gods of the Kongli Jiaolong and Lising Beast tribes in the killing battlefield. After contacting them, they will be led by those gods to the Kongli Jiaolong tribe and the Lising Beast tribe. I have to go out again. Thank you for the 1,500 reward from Bancheng Liang Dea Sheng, and thank you for the 100 reward from 088. Thank you. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, Ji Difeng Ren. Chapter 490. Li Yang came to the killing battlefield this time, bringing the Kongli Jiaolong clone and the Lising Beast clone with him, just to find a way to blend into the two major tribes of Kongli Jiaolong and Lising Beast. He couldn't go alone. After all, the Kongli Jiaolong and Lising Beast tribes were also far away from the killing battlefield. If he flew slowly by himself, first, he was not familiar with the road, and second, the danger was too high. If someone led him, he would naturally reach the inside of the Kongli Jiaolong tribe and the Lising Beast tribe as long as he kept following. Looking at the information in front of him, Li Yang was looking for it. These marked information were special, and the gods in the information had fixed residences. There must be Kongli Jiaolong and Lising Beast in the killing battlefield, but there are too many gods in the killing battlefield, and no one can mark them all. There may be Kongli Jiaolong and Lising Beast in the place where the second-line gods are sharpened, and there may also be in the area where the third-line gods are sharpened, but this is not a special existence, so it will not be marked separately. And if Li Yang goes to look for it, it is not known how long it will take to meet it. The killing battlefield is extremely large. Although there are many gods, it is impossible to meet a god just by flying for a while. He wanted to rely on himself to slowly find the constantly moving Kongli Jiaolong, which is tantamount to finding a needle in a haystack. After searching around, Li Yang's eyes suddenly lit up. In the area where ordinary gods are tempered in the killing battlefield, Qimo Shan, there is a Kongli Jiaolong, whose strength is that of a third-level god. Don't provoke him. A piece of information emerged. Found it? Li Yang was very happy. Since there is the location of the gods of the Kongli Jiaolong tribe, then his Kongli Jiaolong clone will go there directly and show his talent a little bit, then there is a high possibility that he will be brought into the Kongli Jiaolong tribe. Once he enters, he will definitely be trained with emphasis, and his progress will definitely be greatly improved. The Kongli Jiaolong tribe has several masters in the tribe, and their strength is much stronger than the Huoya Divine Beast tribe and the Time Divine Tree tribe. After thinking for a while, Li Yang asked, "Ba Yun, will the positions of these gods who stay in weak areas not move?" Ba Yun shook his head and said, "They will move, after all, the killing battlefield is full of crises, and there is no benefit in staying in one place all the time. However, this information now is the location of the gods that have been explored recently, and they should still be there in the short term. Although it is a process of tempering in the killing battlefield, it is more about comprehending the laws and improving one's strength, so it is impossible to fly all the time. It is possible to move in an area for a period of time and comprehend the laws at ease. When the comprehension of the laws reaches a bottleneck, then set off again and go to other places to continue to sharpen. No strong man will really stay in one place for a long time, and that would be very dangerous. In the ordinary God area, you are a 3-element God, but you may come to a 4-element God at any time, and the consequences can be imagined. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. So that's it. Li Yang nodded. He and Ba-Yun kept talking, and their understanding of the killing battlefield was constantly deepening. Soon, Ba-Yun brought Li Yang to a place. In the distance, there is a huge planet, and on the planet there is a huge square, where hundreds of people are waiting. Mr. Li Yang, the square ahead is the gathering place for people going to the killing battlefield this time. According to the time, the teleportation array will be opened in 10 hours. Mr. Li Yang just needs to go to the square and wait. I'll send Master Li Yang here. Ba-Yun said with a smile. He is a god. If he personally sent Li Yang here, it would definitely attract some people's attention. Yes. Hearing this, Li Yang nodded and said, "Thank you for your help." "It's no trouble. It's my honor to serve Master Li Yang," Ba-Yun said hurriedly. "Here, I wish Master Li Yang to rise strongly in the killing battlefield and quickly stand at the top of the killing battlefield." "Thank you." Hearing what Ba-Yun said, Li Yang said with a smile. "Stand at the top of the killing battlefield." A gleam of light flashed in Li Yang's eyes. "I will do it." Since he has come here, Li Yang's goal is naturally to become the king among the gods. Space, time, fire, lightning, darkness, his 5 laws are now rapidly improving, and the blood of the ancestral dragon is constantly being refined. Next, he will look for the Kongli Jiaolong and the Lising beast, and then blend into their tribes, so that his progress will be even faster. To sum up, Li Yang at this time has the potential to become a top powerhouse. Swish. Thinking in his heart, Li Yang flew directly towards the huge planet in the distance. At this time, Li Yang did not show how fast he was, but just maintained the appearance of being at the peak of the world realm. More than 95% of the newcomers going to the killing battlefield are in the world realm. I don't need to pretend to be in the realm, I can just go directly. Li Yang thought to himself. Although the killing battlefield is a battlefield for gods, the world realm is the most common. In the world realm, lifespan is still limited, and if you want to break through and become a god, the bottleneck is extremely difficult. Therefore, even if many world realm practitioners are afraid of falling, they will still come to the killing battlefield to hone themselves. Only gods can have eternal life, and in the world realm, if you don't fight hard, you will most likely become a pile of yellow earth in the future. The place where Li Yang and Ba-Yun were just now was actually very far away from the huge planet, and no one's consciousness could detect this side. Li Yang had been flying for half an hour before he finally arrived at the planet. At the edge of the square, he stopped, landed, and then walked onto the square. Someone is coming. Who is this? His face is quite unfamiliar. I don't know, judging from his realm, he is in the world realm. I wonder where he came from. Yes, this person has never appeared in the simulated killing battlefield. It is obvious that he has no background. After Li Yang landed on the square, some people in the square looked at him, discussed a little, and then retracted their gaze. In fact, the killing battlefield is full of crises, and many people who enter it for the first time are very likely to fall. Therefore, there is a special place in this Huo Liao Xing Zhou that simulates the killing battlefield. Some people with a little background or huge wealth will choose to enter the simulated killing battlefield to experience it, so that they have some confidence in their hearts. Therefore, some people who really have a background can be easily recognized as long as they come here. Li Yang's face was completely unfamiliar. Of course, there were many world realms with unfamiliar faces like Li Yang, more than 2/3 of them. Where can there be so many people with backgrounds and huge wealth who can enter the simulated killing battlefield to hone their skills? There were more world realms like Li Yang who looked very unfamiliar and had no background at first glance.